Okay, it's recording. Well, it was like just sitting there spinning, and then it just blinked out and went, okay. Good evening, Pat.
Good evening, Sam. How's it going?
It's good. It's a fun Basho. I think it's not what we expected.
No, not at all.
Day 10 right now, July 23rd. We're coming a couple days later than intended because I was traveling, you were traveling, and even though we intended to record, you were caught up in the whole Windows CloudStrike computer crash that messed up your travel plans, right?
Indeed.
So you couldn't fly back on the day that we wanted to record, so you had to drive.
It's just an overall disaster here in the world of flight.
It's funny because you were flying domestic, like not very far, like New York to Ohio.
Yeah, hour and a half.
And I flew to England and I was fine. It didn't affect me at all.
It's insane.
So
that's the way it goes, of course.
But I was able to continue watching while I was there.
And what's the general thoughts in England on?
Well, I was going to give the full England breakdown. At the post Basho discussion.
Okay.
But yeah, there was a lot of talk. A lot of one-way talk of me talking to other people. So I'll dive into that later.
Okay, we'll save that. That'll be a whole thing.
Yeah, so I know there's a few notes you want to discuss, and I guess let's get right into it. What, like, probably the most surprising to some, I guess surprising to most people, is.
Well, I wore this shirt for a reason, because I have to eat my own words here a little bit. You can play the clip in the edit later, but I believe I said something to the effect of Terunofuji will never win a tournament again.
Terunofuji, Yokozuna, what are your thoughts? You think he's back in this one?
No, I think was the direct quote that I said.
Yeah.
I think
now that you mention it, I think I remember you saying something like that.
We all know it's not going to get better. You can play it. You can play the clip. That's fine. I'm allowed. I can take an L on this one. Like, it's not. He's not going to all of a sudden have some miracle turn of events and be strong again and be dominating people. But I decided to wear my King shirt today because the King is returned. There's no other way to say it. He's on day 10. He's 10-0. But it's only half the story because he's a dominant 10-0. Like, I don't really think, for my money, a couple people have gotten a little close, but like not really. Today he basically picked up Kirishima like he was a child and threw him out of the ring within like 5 seconds. So it just goes to show that when he's on, he's still like very much got it.
Yeah, it's crazy that the like longest fight was against Ura, who pulled out every trick in the book that Ura can pull out, and he has a lot of tricks. Ura's got a lot of tricks. And,
it was like an Ura masterclass,
an Ura show, and Terunofuji still. But it's kind of funny because it's for how kind of epic and all over the place it was. The ending was kind of anticlimactic. Terunofuji just kind of pushed him back, lifted him, and just like dropped him out and like that.
I know. I had to watch it twice because I didn't know what the hell had happened. I think I think either Ura was just A, exhausted, or B, just kind of like lost his balance and didn't want to get his ass thrown out of the ring. So yeah, I know, but that was definitely, I would say, probably my favorite fight so far. That was a highlight. But I mean, I don't know, man. I think I like me and you were texting earlier today. I think the only person that I think could beat him outside of someone random would be Kota Sakura. And again, I don't think he'll win. I think Terunofuji is still going to win the whole thing, but I think he has a chance of potentially like winning one fight against him, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know either because he's going to face now. I mean, he's gonna, face the rest of Sanyaku, but
he still has to fight most of the top guys.
But I was texting you, everyone else that he has yet to fight, like he's dominated. Hoshoyu Kotozakuro. The only guys who he hasn't, who he has a, not as dominant record against, he's already beat like Daisho, and then Hiradumi as well.
Right.
He has kind of taking them both out back and beating them good. So
indeed.
Yeah, so it's and he seems only like we always talk about. He always seems to get stronger as the Bashos go. So
usually he does, barring anything like any injury. Like if he can hold in, I think he's clearly suppressing whatever injury or pain he has right now, and is like just looking like an unstoppable force.
Yeah, and it kind of comes back. The other Ozeki. We'll talk about Takakeisho in a second. He's doing okay. Well, Kirishima is now out as Ozeki, but I mean he's not doing that great. Kotozakura is doing fine, 8-2.
Yeah,
Hoshoryu at 7-3. But kind of the discussions of like, which other is no one stepping up as Yokozuna because just the level of competition is that good and everyone can kind of beat anyone on their day. Or is it really, guys like Terunofuji, Haku, or are they just like that much farther above everyone else? And I think we have our answer, that they are that much farther above everyone else. And even when they've been out for months with injury, a guy like Terunofuji can come in and just absolutely dominate. He's got the size, speed, strength to beat anyone. And so until we see someone else like that who can really embody that Yokozuna spirit, he'll.
Listen. I've said it before.
Nobody should get it.
I said it before. I'll say it again. I think Kotozakura has the spirit. I think he needs like 5 more years of age and
That's a
size.
long time.
Maybe
a very long time.
Maybe 2 more years. 2 more years.
Okay.
I mean, look, he's still relatively young.
Yeah.
I think he's got some more maturing to do, but like his record, I mean, he hasn't had a losing record in forever.
Yeah.
I still think he's probably the closest right now. I mean, obviously Hoshoru as well, but I think
I would agree with that. I would agree that Kotozakura is closer.
I think he's just a little bit closer, but who knows? But I do think that Takakeisho, I don't see how he doesn't lose his Ozeki status.
No, yeah,
I don't understand why he still has it, to be honest.
Well, it's because it's just the way.
Yeah, and I understand the logistics of it, but it's also kind of crazy considering
how he keeps going back and forth. Kadoban. I mean, he's 4-6 right now.
Yeah.
He faces Gonayama tomorrow, so that's going to be a tough one because Gonayama's only like 3-7 or something, but he's beaten Hoshoyu.
I know you can't count him out.
No, so Takakeisho, he's at 4-6, so he can only lose 1 more fight.
Yeah.
Before if he loses 2 more, then he loses status. Because he'll finish the losing record. So, and I don't really see that happening because he's gonna fight, the best of the best. He's probably gonna fight Hoshoyu and Kotozakura and all of them. So, maybe even Terunofuji. I have a hard time seeing it and seeing him keeping that status.
Yeah, I mean, I will say it's kind of like doesn't say much, but I think this is the best Takakeisho's looked in a long time. But that doesn't really say a whole lot because he hasn't really even had a full Basho in. I don't have the stats in front of me, but it's been a while since we've seen him do anything like dominant.
November 2023, November.
There you go. So it's been almost a year since we've seen him like compete fully.
When he won.
Right. So yeah, I don't think that's looking
I would agree
wonderful.
With that. I didn't have any other like real notes. I mean, we're going to dive into it more after. There's a whole lot more we want to talk about, but we're going to wait till after. Those are just the couple main things that we want to talk about forward. And so I guess last thing I want to touch on is even though I don't want to say like, it's all wrapped up, but Terunofuji sitting at 10-0, it's looking tough that he's going to lose his spot. If you haven't been watching Juryo, my recommendation is to watch it for the last few days because that's probably going to be more exciting than Makuuchi. I mean, except for the individual storylines that we all care about, but in terms of how the tournament is going to end, who's going to win, it's still very much up in the air for Juryo. And there are some good fighters that are vying for the win. So first place is tied between Shirokuma and Shishi, the Ukrainian. They both at 8-2. Behind them at 7-3 is Shimazumi and Hakuoho. So and then after that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at 6-4. So it's still very close to the top. And honestly, any of these guys can beat each other. So I think even though, Shishi was leading for a while, he lost today. I think any of those top four could beat each other. So, and those top four leading, the highest rank is J8. So it's
Right.
there's still a lot of room in Juryo for a fun finish. So if you haven't been watching it, I recommend it.
That's totally fair. It is. It's. I mean, it's always a great place to see who's coming up next because I mean,
For sure.
it's great, which is always interesting because we also final note from me is I couldn't not bring it up, but Wakataka Kage, in his debut debut as of late, has been doing, I would say, really quite well. He's at 7-3 on day 10. He's been really powerful. He's been dominating a lot of people. Obviously, he hasn't fought a lot of the big guys because he's in, at M14. But it's just really exciting to have him back. And today he fought Midori Fuji, and it was like it was a great fight, and it was just like
very fast guys.
Yeah, fast dudes, same size, same weight, almost, like not exactly, but really close. And I think those are the things I kind of missed seeing. That is like I'm really excited that it's back in the mix now. So there's a lot to talk about, but we can save it for the next one.
We will, and we will see you after the Basho to discuss
who will win.
I think we've pretty.
You never know. You never know.
That's true. You never know. Don't want to jinx it, but
you never know.
We will see you guys and gals in a few days.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Take care, and thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.